viewers, you're welcome to today's episode on the Guided Midwife channel. My name is Aisha and I'm a registered midwife. So please, if you know you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please kindly do so. You can also tap on your notification icon to get an alert or a notification anytime I post a video. So we are still on the medications that we prescribe for pregnant women when they come to the ANC. So with my previous video, I talked about folic acid, and today I'm going to talk about fersolate. So fersolate is a vitamin which is being prescribed to the pregnant women when they come to the ANC. I remember a lady friend of mine asked me why we do prescribe those vitamins for pregnant women, because all those vitamins are being found in foods. So why then do we prescribe these vitamins for them? Okay, so I told her that although when they come to the ANC, we do educate them on nutrition, the kind of foods or the foods that contains those ions and vitamins, like those kind of vitamins. So when these pregnant women comes to the ANC, whilst you're educating them on the nutrition, they are just going to be like, okay, thank you very much. But you don't know the financial status of the person. These pregnant women will accept the fact that they are going to follow every instructions that you give them. But who knows, you're not living with them in their home. Some people can't afford, they don't have the capital to buy those nutritious foods. So like their nutrition are very, very poor. That's why you always want to supplement it with these vitamins, to prevent a deficit in them. A deficit in these vitamins can cause a congenital abnormality and some medical conditions. Some people might be taking these foods rich in these kind of vitamins, but there are some inhibitors. We have something called the iron inhibitor. You might be taking the iron or foods rich in iron, but you are taking an inhibitor which is going to prevent the absorption of that iron. So in this episode, I'm going to explain these kind of inhibitors. There are some foods you shouldn't take right after taking an iron food, because it's going to inhibit or prevent the absorption of that iron. When we say fersolate, is an iron which helps in the development of healthy red blood cells. Healthy red blood cells carries oxygen around the body. So if your red blood cell is very low, there is definitely going to be the oxygen concentration in your system or your blood is also going to be low. So whilst you are pregnant or as a pregnant woman, this blood carries nutrient throughout the body, which helps the baby to also get it. So during pregnancy, the iron in your system helps in the development of red blood cells. So a deficiency in an iron can cause a decrease in red blood cell production. Definitely you are going to have anemia or iron deficiency anemia. So the folic acid and the iron or the fersolate works hand in hand. So if your iron it's low, definitely your folic too is going to be low. So during pregnancy, if you want to have a normal range of iron in your system, in order to help in the production of red blood cell, you have to be taking your folic acid and your fersolate. You can also be eating foods that contains iron, like red meat, seafoods like snails and fish, iron fortified cereals, beans, and so many. So taking this kind of foods can help you have normal iron levels in your blood. So now let's talk about the iron inhibitors. So these iron inhibitors prevent the absorption of iron in your blood, even though you are taking food rich in irons. So these iron inhibitors are tea and Milo. We are not saying you can't take tea or Milo whilst you are pregnant, but you can take it 2 hours before or after eating food rich in iron, in order to prevent the interference with the absorption. Iron has an inhibitor and an absorber. So tea and Milo is an iron inhibitor, but you can take it 2 to 3 hours before or after taking in foods rich in iron. And the absorber is ascorbic acid. Orange contains some ascorbic acid. So right after taking in foods rich in iron, you can take orange to help in the absorption of iron into your blood. Yeah, so orange is an iron absorber. So let's talk about the effects of low iron levels in your blood during pregnancy. So when there is low iron levels in your blood during pregnancy, it has an effect on the woman and the baby as well. So as a pregnant woman, if your iron level is very low, you're definitely going to get anemia. Yeah, because this iron helps in the development of healthy red blood cells. And when your red blood cell is low due to a deficiency in iron, the oxygen concentration in your blood is also going to be low because the blood carries oxygen around the body. And once you are pregnant, the baby gets its oxygen from you, the woman. So if your oxygen concentration is low, definitely the baby is also going to have low oxygen, or you are depriving the baby from oxygen. So that's why we always encourage women to eat well in order to get normal blood levels, in order to get the normal oxygen concentration in the body, so that the baby will get adequate oxygenation. So if your oxygen concentration is low, meaning your baby is also not getting enough oxygen as well. And this deprivation of oxygen to the baby can cause a whole lot of issues. You can get baby with low birth weight, a premature baby, and a baby with birth asphyxia, which can lead to cerebral palsy. And as a pregnant woman, having low iron level, which leads to anemia, let me say you having anemia can affect your lungs, your brain, your kidneys, your heart, and other organs as well. So iron is very, very vital to the body. And you know, as I said earlier, folic and the fersolate works hand in hand. Having anemia means you having a deficiency in both vitamins, that's the iron and the folic acid. So we encourage pregnant women to be taking in their supplements or their medications as prescribed, and we also encourage them to also eat foods which are very rich in these vitamins as well. So I'm going to talk about the side effects of taking fersolate, but it's manageable. Yeah, some people get some abdominal upset like diarrhea when they take fersolate. Some tend to have watery or dark stools. Yeah, others tend to vomit after they've taken this fersolate, but it's manageable. So there are some signs and symptoms that indicate that you have low iron levels. Yeah, so some signs and symptoms runs through so many medical conditions, like you being weak and fatigue. Yeah, headache is a sign of low iron levels, and shortness of breath. So you're going to have shortness of breath because your body is trying to compensate for that low levels of oxygen in your blood. You know, because you have low blood levels, the oxygenation in your system is very low, so you are trying to compensate like for that low oxygen in your system, so your respiration is also going to increase. So with low iron levels, also crave for unnatural food substances like chalk, clay, charcoal. Yeah, so if you have low iron levels, definitely you're going to be craving for these things, because these unnatural food substances has no nutritional value. Your HB or your hemoglobin is going to drop, like, you know. So if you are one type who has been craving for these unnatural food substances like the chalk, clay, in our local language we call it chile. Yeah, so if you are one type who has been craving for that, then you know you have a problem. You have to see a doctor because you are lacking some vitamin. That's why you are craving for that unnatural food substance. As a pregnant woman, your hemoglobin levels should be within the ranges of 12 to 16 grams per deciliter. So if your hemoglobin or HB is below 12, it means you are lacking iron. You are having a deficiency in iron. So you need to be taking in more foods rich in iron. And if your HB level is below 11 grams per deciliter, it means you are anemic. It means your folic acid and iron levels are low. So you have to see a doctor. Yeah. So pregnant women are being encouraged to take in foods rich in iron and folic acid, yeah, in order to prevent all these complications and congenital abnormalities. The milligram or dosage for the fersolate is 200 milligram BD. Yeah, 200 milligram twice daily. So, my lovely viewers, this comes to an end to today's episode, and I hope you find this information very beneficial. So, please, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please kindly do so by clicking on the subscribe menu and also tapping on the notification bar to get an alert anytime I post a video. On my next episode, I'm going to talk about a prophylactic malaria drug, which is called the sulfadoxine pyrimethamine, which we prescribe for our pregnant women when they come to the ANC. So please kindly stay tuned. This is the Guided Midwife. Thank you. Bye.